This is very timing, to say the least. I wouldn't even say timing. I don't know. I honestly don't know at this point. But apparently, not even apparently, family members of Tim Walz, they declare their support for Donald Trump, and now people are in an uproar, kind of. The right is eating this up. They're eating it up really, really, really bad. Do I personally think it will affect VP Harris's campaign? I personally don't. It does make it look kind of like, okay, why are they supporting Trump and not their own family member? But then again, it's very common too, because when we look at RFK, for example, half of his family supported, not even half, probably like 3/4 of his family supported Joe Biden in Joe Biden's race. In context, a quarter of them worked with him and for him, so there's that. But we're gonna go ahead and watch this and see what they're reporting on. Tim Walz.
Have declared they're throwing their support behind Donald Trump. Our Washington correspondent Annalise Nielsen explains why this may spell trouble for the Harris campaign.
It's no secret politics can be divisive among families. Indeed, some of Donald Trump's relatives have become his harshest critics. But
that's true.
This election, it's the relatives of vice presidential nominee Tim Walz who could cause an upset in the state of Nebraska and swing a race that could decide who wins the presidency if there's a tied result come November. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is originally from Nebraska, but entered politics after he moved to Minnesota. Some of his relatives back in the Midwestern state of Nebraska have now declared they're voting for Donald Trump, even posing
Walz
for this
for
photo
Trump.
shared by the Daily Mail wearing...
Do you know how serious it has to be for them to make shirts about it? Like Walz for Trump? That is actually crazy. If I ever run for president, I don't know if I would, if that's down the path, or if God wants me to. That's whatever God wants me to. I'm here for God. But if I ever run for president and my family, they don't support my politics, okay, so don't support me. But if you dare make shirts and you take your picture and you post it on social media, child, please.
Shirts that say waltzes for Trump. Tim Walz's older brother Jeff posted in a Facebook group that was subsequently picked up by the New York Post saying, "I'm 100% opposed to all his ideology, the stories I could tell, not the type of character you want making decisions about your future."
Okay, that's concerning. That's concerning. I did read, allegedly they haven't spoken in 8 years, so I wonder where that dynamic is. But it's also like, how much weight do we really hold within that? Mainly because it's like RFK went through the same thing. But the thing is with RFK, him and his family were still cordial and good. I don't know behind the scenes, but at least in the public eye, they were still good. They just had disagreements in politics. And the same thing with Trump and his sister and his relatives. A lot of people disagree with Trump and feel like he shouldn't be in power. So I don't know if I don't think this is anything different and as opposed to what we've already seen, unless there's something that's just like, yo, this man should not be in any position of power. I mean, the man served as like
Family dramas
governor.
aside, there's a reason why this could matter. Nebraska and Maine are the only two states that apportion their electoral college votes. In every other state, it's winner takes all. But in deep red Nebraska, one single district voting Democrat could give the Democrats an extra electoral college vote. And here's why that matters this election. If Kamala Harris and Tim Walz win the blue wall states of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and Donald Trump wins Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, and Georgia, we could see a scenario where Harris and Trump each have 269 electoral college votes once all the safe states are
that would be
tallied
crazy
up to.
if that actually
Either
happened.
candidate needs 270 electoral college votes to win. In that case, one single district in Nebraska could decide the presidential election. If the electoral college result ends up tied at 269 to 269, that would mean it's then up to Congress to decide who becomes the next president of the United States. That's why this one group of unruly relatives in northern Nebraska could change this entire campaign and spell trouble for Kamala Harris. Annalise Nielsen, Sky News, Washington, D.C.
Well then, I don't think it's going to be a tie. I don't think it's going to be a tie. If it's a tie, there's like a slim chance that it would ever be like 269 to 269. Very, very slim. It's not impossible, but it's very slim. Me personally, I don't think that them supporting Trump is a big enough issue to where it's going to affect their campaign in regards to where it is now. I don't think it's going to add momentum, or I don't think it's going to take any of it away, mainly because we've seen it before. If it was something that we haven't seen before, then it would have been like, okay, what's going on? You know, I am not the biggest fan of Tim Walz's politics. I think he's a little bit too, like, for those who follow me know, like, I considered myself progressive at one point when it came to certain policies that I stood behind, like paid parental leave. I'm really big on healthcare. I think healthcare should be accessible to everybody, affordable healthcare at least. At one point, that was considered progressive views and progressive values. Now, with everything, like, this was once progressiveness, and this is where, like, the current Democratic Party. See, you can't even see it outside of my screen. That's like where the current Democratic Party is now. And I think Tim Walz is too far left for my liking. That's part of the reason why I consider myself independent now. But yeah, I don't think this is going to do a lot. Me personally, kind of sidetracking, I'm kind of confused why she chose him as VP. Not that he takes away or adds anything to the campaign, but he's just very similar to her when it comes to their policies. Like, he is very, very progressive. So I would have thought that she would have picked someone like Mark Kelly, someone who's more of a moderate, someone who's more of a moderate Democrat, to kind of like balance her out, especially with her failed policies when it comes to immigration and at the border. Mark Kelly, he has a bipartisan legislation bill surrounding immigration. So I think he would have been a better pick. Obviously, unions aren't the biggest fan of him, but like, I kind of see them just trying to push VP Harris more to the center, and it's not really working in my opinion. But back to the topic about the family members and Tim Walz. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna affect them too bad, mainly because, like I said before, we've seen it before. People in the comments are saying, someone said, just shows what kind of man Walz is if everyone of his own family is supporting Trump instead of him. But then again, we can use that same argument with RFK, because some of RFK family members weren't supporting him. The same thing with Trump. Trump's own blood relative, like, wasn't supporting him. Does that take away from the potential value that RFK could bring, or the potential value that Trump can bring? I would say the same thing if VP Harris's sister wasn't supporting her. Like, it's like, yeah, they may not support her, but does that take away from, like, how much weight can you really put on that? Someone said, how humiliating for Walz, like Biden. Walz is an embarrassment to the U.S. political stage. The whole world is watching. Tampon Tim I don't want to say that word, was the greatest gift the Democrats could have gave Donald Trump. Yikes. Y'all calling him Tampon Tim is actually crazy. Tampon Tim has embarrassed his family, and it's very obvious his family doesn't like him. Wow. Okay, so let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. According to these comments, they think, hey man. Let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. Do you think that this is actually going to play a big role? Do you think this is going to affect their campaign, or do you think it's just one of those moments where, okay, people are talking about it now, and then people will get over it eventually? Let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media. I love y'all all. God bless y'all. This is Udoak, connecting people with policy. Toodles. I definitely didn't have to sing it, but